we help you? How can we help you? You know, and so there's just a lot of fodder for events, because agents are going to need help.
Yeah. So Susan, you just said that the Alpha Group is not. I just started recording. That's why I'm kind of recapping. So the Alpha Group is not just starting with EXP Explained. They're just trying to start with.
They were talking about best practices and what they're doing, you know, to keep growing, right? We're all here to grow and, you know, get better at what we're doing every day. And so, you know, the general consensus was really just, you know, get people serve, right? You know, how can you give as much value as you can? And giving value isn't, hey, let me tell you about EXP and blah, right? You know, giving value is asking great questions, right? It's how can I help you? How are things going? How's your business? What are you struggling with? You know, is there anything I can do to help you? So it's, those events are not saying that they're not doing EXP Explained, but that's kind of at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You don't lead off with EXP Explained.
No.
Got it.
It could just be a part of, you know, diversifying, leveraging, you know, additional income streams, and that can come in at the end, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah.
Well, Lee, do you want to share the PDF that we put together?
Yeah, I'm just messaging a couple more people.
Okay.
And then I'll share the PDF. I'm trying to see if some of the team in Kansas City. All right, so let me open this up. So all right, so what we wanted to do is, you know, we wanted to come up with a collaboration group. We wanted to come up with like a parent group for everyone that was motivational. And Isaiah and I were kicking around different ideas of things that we felt would be, you know, something that would be motivational. And so we you know, like Susan, how every group has, you know, like the Wolf Pack or the Wolf, you know, Wolf Pack is Sherrard's group. We wanted something that was just kind of set us apart from a group. And so what we came up with, and I know that a couple of people might not love the name, but
And
you
this
got to hear
doesn't
it
take
out.
the place of the local Lux group. It's not taking the place of that at all. So we're still the Lux group here locally, if you're using that branding.
So, and this logo isn't complete at all or anything, but this is, so we wanted to come up with something that was unique and different. So we came up with the Renegades, and we came up with that for one specific reason. And a lot of you guys are too young to really remember, but Steve Jobs did that one amazing commercial that just was like, it broke all records of commercials for ingenuity and everything. And it was based off a quote from a Rob Silterman. And you want to read it off, Julie?
Sure. Hold on. Let me enlarge it. Oh, I can't. Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. All right. Here's to the renegades, the ones who think different, the ones who are not afraid to take on a challenge. Some call us instigators, the round peg and the square hole, the ones who see things as they should be, not as they are. They're not fond of just going with the flow, and they have no respect for people willing to accept average. You can think they're crazy, you can doubt them, you can be jealous of them, but what you can't do is stop them, because they make the economy and everything around them move. They make other people believe in themselves for their great accomplishments that defy the odds. And while some may call them renegades or rebels, advancement would not exist without them, because people who are willing to put it all on the line are the ones that bring real change. Boom. I mean, I love that quote.
So that's kind of what we want to bring with our group. I mean, we're still, if I scroll up here, we're still, someone's trying to get in here. Hang on. I'm gonna make you the co-admin, Julie.
Okay,
So
I'll let people in.
There we go. All right, so if you can see, we're still the Modern Agent Blueprint, Lux Group, Lang Estates, the Brown Team, RHA International, and you know, I wanted to welcome Paul. Are you here?
He's
Yes,
here.
my friend. I'm sorry. Hold on.
I just wanted to welcome Paul
I was
Conti.
quietly observing.
Yeah, so Paul Conti Real Estate Group to our overall group, and I'm super fired up to have him. If you guys need motivation or a kick in the pants, Paul's the man for the job. But yeah, so this is kind of our family, and we want to like position ourselves under the Renegades, just from a standpoint of, we thought that quote was so good, and we want to just, you know, we want to be kind of disruptors.
Mhm.
Perfect for me. I love it.
Yeah, you're going to be the poster woman of the whole group. You are definitely a disruptor, and that's what we like. We
Yeah,
like
right.
it, you know. So, you know, what we have here is just to start is, if you want to be successful and you want to make, you know, you want to build your revenue share, really you have to be fired up. I mean, number one, you can't be a secret agent in real estate in general, but you also can't be a secret agent with your enthusiasm towards the company. So one of the first things that I feel is important is you need to go to brentgove.com and watch some of the videos. I mean, there's so many leaders and there's so many inspirational stories. And a lot of the videos are typically, what would you say, Susan, 10 minutes long, maybe tops?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I like the ones from the events too, because I love the stories, you know, the ones from the build or from Cabo. Those are amazing. So if you find those event videos, and we can point you to ones that we really like, but you know how some days it's like you're feeling the energy and sometimes you're not. And first of all, action is what breeds energy, right? I mean, if you're not in action, if you're not involved in this, if you're not really consistently thinking about it and doing it on a daily basis, you lose the energy for it. You know, it happens to me, and I have to go back and be like, okay, let's get back on board. Let's watch a video. Let's get fired up, because, you know, this is the best opportunity in real estate that's ever existed, ever. And we just have to get that message across. So, oh, Mike Sherrard's YouTubes are also great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it really just reinforces all the things that we already know.
Yep.
But he just, the way he does it in just, you know, he does it in a very organized fashion, very intelligent fashion. I think he's really smart. You know, some of the things he thinks of, like, oh my gosh, like, I didn't see it that way. Or he'll compare one brokerage with another, you know, in ways that, you know, if you're talking to somebody, Real, for instance, you know, we don't see that much here in Michigan, but we probably will, you know, and just the side-by-side comparisons, he's just really good at doing that as well. So it's a good place for information and motivation.
Yeah, so Susan, Isaiah and I, we examined all the groups within EXP, and Sherrard's group is the one that we felt we wanted to model ourselves after, just because of the way that he really creates his, you know, his ecosystem is tight. Like, everyone is contributing, you know, like on his lead capture page, there's hundreds of agents that are doing videos on why, you know, inspirational of why they're part of that group and how it's motivated them, how it's helped them be successful. And so that's, you know, and he provides a ton of content and value. And that's ultimately what we're trying to do with Isaiah's and his coaching. And now with Paul and his, you know, I mean, Paul's going to help all of our agents, you know, have 5, 6 rock solid referral partners in their business. I mean, like those are the things that we're going to provide for our overall group, which I feel is a benefit over, you know, a number of the other groups out there. So let's go to the next section. So ways to attract. I mean, really the lowest hanging fruit is for us to do social media postings 3 times a week. You know, Julie and I, we're going to provide some content for you. Julie, can you give an example of some of the stuff that you've been posting?
Well, I mean, I think it helps first of all, it helps to be an awesome agent. So whatever you can promote about yourself, you know, production's always a good one. Like you got to brag about yourself a little bit, you know, because I think people are attracted to that. They really are. So don't be afraid to do that. I mean, video's everything. We know that, you know. But you know, I always hunt around for what other people are doing and try to just, I really like that. I'm going to modify that and use that, you know. Things you can post about EXP. Look at all the stuff we have with, you know, with the iBuyer program, with now this affinity, you know, all of this, you know, with all the banks we're connecting with that are offering all of these referrals. We've got the, you know, the reload program. We've got, you know, the REO, like talk about those things and it's going to click with somebody. So find out the information, create a post out of it, and just continue to post that type of value, things that other brokerages aren't offering. Post about our accountability group. That's what Jen did today, and I ripped it off. I modified it. I
Hey,
ripped
rip
it off.
away, I don't care.
I used the same graphic, but I posted it again. People want to know, oh, there's people out there actually connecting with each other every single morning. Like that's what agents need right now. I mean, they're, you know, I know yesterday it was like a yucky rainy day here. I'm sure agents were like, oh man, what am I doing? You know, because they're not going into the office, you know, so they just need that support. And different things are going to resonate with different people, but something in there will spark an agent that you know on social media, and they're going to reach out to you. So, I mean, that's, you know, social media is great, but, you know, I know we also want to talk about how we can just directly reach out to agents and want to hear from you guys of like holdbacks, because I have them, all the holdbacks. You think too hard about, oh, what are they going to say? Or they're, you know, oh, they're at this brokerage and, you know, they must like that. They must like that office they have. And I get all in my head about maybe why that wouldn't be a person I should reach out to. So I want to open it up. I want this to be free flowing. We're not like preaching to you guys and telling you what to do. I'd like to hear what holdbacks you're having, because
Hey, Julie,
yeah,
I'm sorry. Before we go on to that, can I just add something really quickly about
Sure.
social media? So a lot of times there are a lot of agents watching you that you don't know are watching you. And when you're doing social media, you're doing videos, you're doing a, you know, blog post, whatever you're doing, it feels very redundant many times. But, you know, when you get tired of saying it is when people start to actually hear it. So don't get, you know, well, I've done that video, you know, I already did an interview with an EXP agent asking them why they came over. I can't do another one. Don't get in your head about that. If you're going to do social media, a lot of times doing the same type, whether it's interviewing agents that are coming over and why they came over, and hey, you were called 50 times by other people, why did you decide to come over now? You know, well, I realized EXP is not what I thought it was, or whatever that might be. Don't get in your head about, well, I've done this, because people are watching you and you don't always know that they're watching you and you're making that impact. So okay, now you can go on to the second thing, but I just wanted to put that out there really quickly.
I can't tell you how many times that Julie and I have been together in public, like at, you know, even at the, we were at the, getting dog food at the dog store, at the dog food store, and someone came up to us and they're like, oh my God, you guys are killing it. I see you guys all over social media. And it's funny because one of my cousin is a mortgage guy for Keller Williams in Metro Detroit, one of their biggest branches. And he
my old
texted me,
office.
the one in Novi, and he texted me 2 days ago saying, you guys are killing it. They're talking about you guys, your social media in our meeting. And so they're talking about Julie and I, and we're like, we don't really even feel like we have that great of a social media game, but our competitors are talking and they named us specifically. So
and a lot of times other agents don't comment or like on other agents' posts, right? So how many times have you seen something from a Keller Williams, a Remax, a C21, a whoever, and then you're like, oh, but I'm not going to comment or like it because I'm with EXP, and they feel the same way. So we don't always get the comments and the likes, but again, they're watching you, but you may not know it.
Which leads into, well, then you got to go out and find out who's watching, right? Unless you want to sit around and wait for them to reach out to you. Like, how are you going to reach out to them? You know, you got to pick up the phone, or at the very least, what also works is, and I use Facebook a lot, and I know a lot of you use Instagram more, but I like the messenger feature of just doing either an audio or a video. You know, how many of you are sending out birthday videos or, you know, birthday anniversaries or birthday house anniversaries? Why not send a video to an agent? They'll be like, holy crap, nobody does this. Like, nobody does it. They're doing stuff different over there. And just don't be afraid to do it. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to. Someone else is
How
going to
many-
reach out to them first. I mean, that's the talk about like a gut punch, right? When you see somebody you've been thinking about reaching out to and suddenly they join with somebody else, or they switch to a different brokerage or something before you had a chance to talk to them. And right now is prime hunting season. Like if there was ever a time, it's right now. You know?
Yeah, everyone's looking to position themselves because it's going to be, you know, in the first thought of people is people's first thought is I want to go to 100% brokerage or a cheaper cap. But what they don't realize is they're just going to go off and die there because they're not giving them any of the tools to really be successful. And I mean, and that's why we really need to push what we've been working on with, you know, our lead systems, and with now that we have Paul with the board of directors stuff, it's, you know, I mean, it's just gonna knock people's socks off of, you know, having them come to, I mean, get everyone to our meeting next Tuesday, because Paul's going to talk about building your board of directors. Paul, what can you add to that? Like tell us, well, first tell us how fired up you are to be part of our group.
I'm itching like you have no idea. Like I got poison oak all over my body. You have no idea, right? But if I'm out of line, please here, stand me down, put me on mute. I don't know. I just want to add my 2 pennies for what they're worth here. Is it easier to talk to a stranger or somebody that knows you?
Somebody that knows you, obviously.
So my question is, everything I do is a setup and it's chess. So be very careful how you answer. And then most people don't want to answer me because they know I'm playing a game with them. But that's what this is. This is nothing but a game. So last man or last woman standing wins. We want to be the last man or woman standing. Think about this now. I find it easier and more natural. Let me back up and ask the question differently. Is there anybody here willing to play with me for a second? Just answer a couple questions. Come on now.
Pick
Somebody
on
come off
Stephanie.
mute other than Lee.
Pick on Stephanie Walker.
All right,
She
Steph,
needs
let's
to
do
be
this,
picked
darling. You seem excited, so we're going to run with you. Steph, come off mute for me for a sec.
Yep, what's up?
So just out of curiosity, how many deals have you closed in 2022? And you can make it up. I wouldn't even know if you're lying. How many have you closed?
We'll say 15.
15. Okay. Think about this, everybody. There's an agent on the other end of that contract that is going to take your call every time you call them. You have a captive agent who theoretically likes you that you've gone under contract with. Stephanie, of the 15 people on the other end of your contract, how many have come over to EXP with you?
None.
How many of you attempted to court to come over to EXP with you?
1.
What happened with the other 14? Were they all terrible agents?
No, they're great agents.
Listen, folks, it's as simple as that. Now, I have to teach you the mechanics of the words and how to use the words. So think about this. My objective is to teach everybody how to get people to fall in love with you. If you're married or with somebody, you know what I'm talking about. Think about this for a second. When we're in love, we don't always make rational decisions. Love is blind. We've heard the phrase. So the objective, my hair's standing on end. How do you get somebody to fall in love with you immediately? Because when they fall in love with you, they're more inclined to accept your offer, to sit down with you and have coffee, and to listen to what you're doing because they're in love with you. We went through the motions and did the transaction and didn't pay attention to the person knocking on our front door saying, Stephanie, I'm looking for a better broker shop. Please help me. We didn't even hear that. We didn't, Steph, with all due respect, Erlen, I don't know you, and you hang up on me if you don't like it, but they're on your front porch.
Yep.
And we're looking for an agent to come with us on social media. Let me try and communicate with strangers. Somebody's at your front door. Thoughts? Anybody?
I love it. I do make a point to make friends with them on Facebook, but yeah, it's very easy.
But you've disconnected. So really think about this, folks. The world has forced us from, hi, my name is Paul. Nice to meet you. Let's talk. They forced us into a social media space thinking it's going to make us closer. It put us further apart. We've lost the ability to be communicators. And if you're that good as an agent, then you're that good as a recruiter, but you're really not, because you can't get a fish to be a runner. If you're a great agent, your idea is to set them up, meaning open the door. Paulie and Lee will welcome them in. Why don't you come right here? Let's sit down and chat for a little bit, right? They're at your front door. I want you to think about that all day. Somebody's knocking at your front door. Let me in, Steph. Let me in. I want to talk to you. And you're worried about going to find another realtor. They're right. They're here. They're ringing the bell. They're ringing the bell. What are you doing? Why are you going out the back door? I'm done. I got to go on mute. I'm going to get all upset. I'm so hot and bothered.
I love it.
Let's-
So
Let's talk about that though, because it's so true. So that being said, what should Stephanie say to said agent, right? And when should she say it?
This is way out of context because it's like sometimes they come to me and Polly, help me get out of this hole. I said, can you put the shovel down? You keep digging. I can't get, you're too far down. Let's forget about this one. Let's fix it for the next one. Doesn't mean she can't recover. But my point is, this is set up when you place the offer. When you place the offer, the mental magic happens then. Think about this. You're attempting to fight with 5 other offers. You're fighting with a realtor that isn't necessarily accepting your offer, playing hardball. All they're saying is, I don't love you yet. I don't love you yet. Help me fall in love with you and I will accept your offer. That's all they're saying. See, that's how I interpret it. My perception is my reality. You've created your own perception, whether it's through the TV, the mechanic, the politics, the news, why I don't watch that. I'm like a bouncer at a nightclub. Clipboard, politicians, you're not on the list. You can't get in. I'm the bouncer of my brain. Negative news? No, you belong over there. Who are, positive, uplifting, make me smile? Right this way. Follow me. It happens then, not now. It's more difficult now. This is a tug of war. My broker, my daddy's stronger than your daddy. Come with the XP. I like where I am, but we have this. No, but we have this. It's a tug of war. Who the hell wants to win that? You know what I do? I hide the rope. There's no fighting here. There's no fighting. There's nothing to tug of war over. Folks, listen to this very carefully. You must learn how to get somebody to divorce from their current spouse before they will date you. Don't go wrecking marriages. I'm talking about business, ladies and gentlemen. I'm saying to you, I love where I am. I'm not willing to go with you. You haven't done enough to divorce them, create separation. When they're away from their spouse, they're willing to talk to you, you see? Think about it that way. So we've got to learn how to divorce them. And then we're not trying to get them to come with us. They're trying to get to you. They're coming to you.
But
So
like,
it's the
how do
same.
you
It
start the
mirrors-
conversation?
I'm sorry.
What do you do?
Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
How do you like start the conversation?
What part?
The beginning, like
Jennifer,
So
why are you
this is
smiling?
like,
Jennifer, why are you smiling?
what do you mean? Why am I smiling? I don't know. I always smile.
You have not smiled the entire call, but you've been smiling more when I'm hitting these buttons. Why? You might not be able to give me an answer.
Your energy's high, is why I'm smiling.
I'm resonating with you.
Oh.
You're starting to like me, baby. You don't even know me.
Love you, Paul.
Thank you, babe. I got to meet Maria. Where are we going to coffee, Maria? That's what I'm saying right there. This is my point. Listen to me, folks. I'm not a good realtor. I don't even know how to do real estate. I'm not going to teach you how to be a better realtor. I'm a performer. And everything about what I'm teaching is a performance. Think about this. We give awards to those things. They're called the Oscars. You're to
And
be
you
a
deserve
performer. Everything's about a performance. I don't wake up out of bed. I jump out of bed because God called me today. You're awake, brother. You better use the tools I gave you. So for me, everything's a performance. What word would you use? What would you say? It's a package. This requires long-term intensive detox. You all are addicted to a different drug. I got to get you to go through detox and put you on a new drug. And that's going to take some time. That's why Lee wants me to come coach, educate, empower, share these things with you. But we got to start from day one. Right now, I'm coming out of context and saying, what are you all searching for? You're trying to find these techniques. Stop it. You got somebody on the other end, contract, name, and phone number. They're going to take my call. Watch this. Hi, everything okay with the deal? Everything's great with the deal. We'll talk about what to say and how to say it, but you got a captive agent. Why are we looking over here? They're at the front door. It doesn't mean you're going to go to all 15. It means there are 15 people that will take your call and happily talk to you. Now, what's the question sound like? Let me tell you, Stephanie's the listing agent. I'm the buyer's agent. Steph, let me tell you this. I'm so excited. I got this client from my divorce attorney. I can't tell you how much business I'm getting from the divorce attorney. I will if you ask, Steph, but just out of curiosity, how many of you closed this year from your divorce attorney? Steph, talk to me, baby. How many of you closed from your divorce attorney? You're the listing agent.
None.
None. None. Steph, listen to me very carefully. I want to help you. You seem really cool. You accepted my offer. We're buddies now. We're already friends. I want to help you. Think about this. Since COVID-19, the divorce rate shot the highest in history. The highest in history. Now, if you just think about a divorce, what happens? Somebody has to sell and somebody has to buy.
Mhm.
The divorce rate is through the roof. So in 6 to 12 months, we're going to have an awful lot of more people that have to sell and buy. And I just keep getting calls from my divorce attorney. You mean to tell me nobody's teaching you that? Uh-oh. Here it starts. Here it starts. My boyfriend isn't teaching me that. My broker never told me that. My current team leader never said that to me. Oh, here they are. Oh, well, oh. Dropping the seed. Here we go. Would you like to learn more? Let's meet for coffee. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's that easy. But you need to be taught how to get into their head and then make them smile. And then make them look up and to the right because they're tapping into their left visual cortex of their brain, trying to draw that image. They can't find it. You watch, pay attention. They'll look up and to the right when you ask them a question like that, just like Steph did. Because they're looking, I don't get any business like that. Ooh. Ooh. I'm going to show you something, gang. Watch this. Hold on.
So we're canceling. I'm not even going to show the rest of my presentation.
I want Paul's energy.
So this
I don't
is,
expect you to be able to read this.
uh,
You see yellow highlights, 5 of them,
Yes.
Yeah.
5 divorces this month. 2 of them have to sell. 3 of them are cash out, refi, and get rid of the ex. 2 of them have to sell. I wonder who I'm going to give those to. Hello. What state are you in, Paul? Where are those divorces at? I know. Why don't we meet for coffee, Steph, and I'll share this with you, baby. Come on now.
Love it.
This is my point, right? So what we're doing is, and I'm not knocking EXP. I'm not knocking. I love EXP. It's why I came. I love Lee. I love Julie. That's why I'm here, right? However, I don't agree with agent attraction because everybody's using it. You're EXPing on everybody. Everybody's full of urine. No, you stink. You stink. Nobody wants that, right? So what I'm doing is connecting on a neurological level. And as soon as I see your teeth, I talk about how pretty they are. And you want to show them to me again. Stephanie's trying to fight the smile. Jennifer is smiling right now. So there's a different type of connection. Agent attraction is production paired with efficiency. Production paired with efficiency. What does that mean? I just shared it with you. My production from this divorce attorney, how did I get it? Let me teach you. Production paired with efficiency. My goodness, if you use that word agent attraction, I'm going to kill you. Lee, don't fire me. I'm just trying to give you all an example, right? So I do this whole segment called Dirty Words. Here's the words we're using. Here's the words you should replace them with. And why? Why? Because our brain will fire differently when you use this word as opposed to this one. Here's a generic one. You ready? Prospect. I believe Susan used it. I'm sorry, Susan. It's okay. It's what's out there. We prospect.
Good.
Think about this now, right? Follow me for a second. Prospect means we're looking for something we don't have. Your mind is in a negative space. You're in a chase. I've got to go look and find something. You're already starting out in the wrong place. You didn't frame your environment right because you're prospecting. I'm looking for something I don't have. Maybe we replace it with the word cultivate. Cultivate means I already have it. I'm going to cultivate the fertile soil I stand on. There is a divorce attorney in my life. My brother, sister, aunt, uncle, cousin, brother, neighbor, client, best friend, somebody got divorced and they're going to introduce me to the divorce attorney. I'll teach you how to do that. So I say you cultivate, meaning I already have it. I just need my coach to help me cultivate the fertile soil I stand on. Prospect is a scary word because it puts us in a negative space. It means we're trying to find something we don't have. You already have it. That's what I believe. You want to believe something different? That's on you. I believe God gave us everything we need. We're looking in the wrong spot. So there's a revision. There's a whole like dirty word section. It's like a 45-minute class where we literally talk about the words we're currently using. We help you understand why and how the brain fires when you use that word. And we look to replace it with a word that puts the brain in a beautiful place, in a happy place. I've already got this. I do. Where, Paulie? Right here. Let me show you. I didn't even know that. Thank you so much. Now I'm in a different space. I framed the call. I framed my time differently. I've already got it. So those are the things that will help you increase the agents wanting to come with you because they're going to fall in love with you. Now it's not a practical decision. 100%, 90%. You only pay this percent. I've never brought that up. I never talk about it. When you got together with your spouse, were you worried they had an acne problem? They got prostate issues? They got these weird scabs on the back of their legs? It's disgusting. No, did you talk about that? No, you fell in love with them and you rationalize later why you're going to deal with that. This is no different. Why are we making this different because we're a realtor? Stop acting and thinking like a realtor. Let's start to think like a business strategist, because that's what Paulie Conti is. Yes, I need loans to feed my family. I need your buyers to feed my family. The more loans I get, the more you get of my time. But your needs come before mine, just like I'm sharing this now. I will make you money. If I don't, never talk to me again. I'm not worthy of your time. How about when you elevate the bar like that on everybody in your life? Ooh, the game has changed. I'm going to take a breath now. Thoughts, questions?
How can we continue from that?
Wait, so we replaced recruiting with agent attraction. Why is agent attraction dirty, and what would you replace it with?
So think about this now, right? Paul Conti is a loan officer. Paul Conti feeds his family as a loan officer. I want anybody on this call, I dare you to tell me when I've sounded like a loan officer to you. And yet I'm going to make an assumption, not an arrogant one, a blessed one. Some of you actually want to talk to me more and maybe do business with me. Is that a fair assumption? I never talked about loans. My point is this: stop talking about real estate. How are you attracted to me? And yet I never talked about loans. That is what I need to feed my family. Your needs came ahead of mine. The way I communicated with you puts you in a different state, so you're more apt to want to talk to me. I call it stacking the stats, stacking the statistics, dropping the appropriate words, focusing on certain things, visually seeing what I need to see and point that out. I'm stacking the statistics, which is going to make you want to do business with me. Now I just put the real estate hat on. It's no different. It's no different. So I understand what EXP is saying. I'm not knocking it. I just do something different. Listen, the word hope, you'll see in all of my trainings, it's a terrible word. That's one of the dirty words, but there is a different connotation to hope. Hearing other people's experiences. That's all you're doing right now. You are hearing other people's experiences. You're hearing my experiences and you want to apply them to your world because it makes sense and it makes money. And you want to elevate. You see, I don't compete with anybody. Nobody can touch me. It's not arrogance. All the professionals on this call, you've not been communicated with this information before in this manner. So I don't have competition. Other people are trying to figure me out, but this is a gift from God. You can't figure that out. I didn't go to school for this. I know where my bread is buttered. He gets all the credit. So I'm just here trying to share with you what I'm obligated to share with you. And I do love doing this as well. It's not a requirement for me. I get to do this. I don't have to. That's a mindset. I get to go pick up my kid from soccer at 7 o'clock, even though I'm dead exhausted. Thank the good Lord I've got a healthy child and he can play a sport. I get to, not have to. Have to is a chore. Get to is a gift. That's a mindset. All these little tweaks along everything you're doing will improve and increase your opportunities because you're communicating with people in a different frame of mind and they're going to follow that. That answer your question, Jewel? I don't mean to take the meeting over. I'm gonna be standing down now.
I don't think anyone has their, yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome. I mean, think about having Paul in our corner to help each and every one of us. I mean, it's, I'm just super excited that he saw the light and wanted to be a part of our group. So, anyone have any comments? Susan?
Paul, I
Yes,
would love to wake up to you every single morning.
my wife's right around the corner. Shut.
Wait, hold on, hold on.
Your voice.
I'm just, yes, I'm absolutely looking forward to that. The long and short of Paul Conti is, by the grace of God, been doing things like this for a while, helping many people and looking for the right partnerships in my world. And it's been a challenge to this point because people are looking for me to help them, but they're not capable or willing to reciprocate, even though I teach it, right? So when Julie, and again, the women get all the credit, you're the smartest people on the planet. I'm only going to say that once and I'm not going to say it again. But my point is this: Julie saw me speak and said to her husband, you need to talk to Paul, make this happen. And then Lee and I and Julie, we've continued our conversations, and their concerns were, Paulie, we want to show you how we can help you make money as well. That hasn't happened very often. So in my prayers of looking for someone to help partner up with, it appears as though the people that are supposed to be in my life for at this particular time have appeared. And I'm looking to monetize that opportunity and give everything I've got every single day. This is my strength. I don't have calluses. I don't know how to do math. I'm not good at just about 99% of tasks asked of me. But this, by the grace of God, this is my wheelhouse right here. And my objective is to help everybody grow and make money in ways you've not done before. So this was a little tickler, a little sampler that I think very differently. So for me, it's not about working harder or smarter. It's being more efficient with what you're already doing and thinking differently. That's easier said than done, because if you don't think differently, you're not naturally going to think differently. That's why you need a coach. Every human being goes to a different place when they have a coach. I see myself as a travel agent. Think about it. A travel agent takes you to places you probably couldn't have gone on your own and might not have known they existed. That's a great coach.
Paul,
That's a
who's your
great
coach?
Aside from God and my wife, I don't listen to book. I don't read books. It took me 7 years to get a 4-year degree, so I'm not smarter than anybody on this panel. My SAT scores are comical. You can add them up on one hand. Those are not my strengths, right? So for me, every single morning, I would say approximately anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes every day, I'm just listening to scientists. I'm listening to guys that will bore the hell out of most people, because all they do is research brains, research activity, why the brain does this. That's all I do. It's really goofy. My entire family's bored like crazy. I have to put the headset on, and it's just helped me understand. Plus, for 13 years prior to this time, I ran a mortgage company and I had recorded calls. Every call was recorded. Folks, listen to me very carefully. I'm going to beg you to get an app that downloads recorded calls. The recorded call was my way of accelerating somebody's growth faster than anything else, because I cannot refute what you think you said or what you think they said. When we hear it on the call, my goodness, we're going to learn so much faster. So I tell people, record your sales call. I'll let you hear some of mine. You can come to my coaching calls. We're going to be hosting them for you. Record the calls. This is for you. But don't do this once. You're not going to get this once. We listen to the call. We dissect what and why. And then we role play it. Then we practice. I mean, dear God, you all call this thing, what is it called when I'm going on a listing appointment? Are you nuts? I'm going on a listing appointment. You know what that means? You're going out for an audition. And you know what everybody says? Good luck. Good luck. What? I'm not auditioning. I got the part. We got to call that something different, because you're not framing that right. I'll give you different words to frame that environment right, and then communicate with that client differently. You're going to instantly elevate yourself from outside of the circle to in the circle. Love, love, love. It starts then, not later when you're under contract. Then you want to increase your contract rate. It starts then. And this takes a while to learn. I'm not saying 6 months, 2 years, 10 years. I'm not saying that. You're condensing 24 years of coaching people into a 20-minute call. So when we first get started, we actually start with this. and then I teach you how to formulate your board of directors. I'm going to show you that, right? So every good corporation has a board of directors. Do you? You don't see yourself as a business owner? Why? Yes, I am. I'm self-employed. Great. Introduce me to your board of directors. What are they? I don't have one. We need to start there. I found that when I start here, it instantly reveals whether or not you're an employer or an employee. Ooh, big deal. So this is where we start. Then we add the words. How do you communicate with your board of directors? What words are you using? How and when? To get them to support the corporation. They are the recipients of your hard work, the beneficiaries, but none of them are the benefactors. Why? Because you don't see yourself as a corporation. I'm a
Hey,
self-employed
Paul,
business owner.
you need to save some of that for Tuesday.
Yes, sir. I'll stand down. Susan asked me a
that's-
question. I'm just trying to answer the question.
No, that's a preview of Tuesday. So Paul's going to teach everyone how to build their board of directors
So
and
here's
build their
what you
lifelong
do.
referral business.
Here's what you do. Invite as many people to that call as you can. Next Tuesday, Modern Agent Blueprint. Are we doing it at noon? Or are we moving this thing
We
to
moved it
11?
to 11 o'clock.
Okay,
11 o'clock.
yeah. Get people in the Modern Agent Blueprint and invite them. Or even if they're not in the, well, add them to the group first, right, Lee?
Yeah, add them to the group and then we'll
And
do,
reach out to them and say, you do not want to miss this.
Why?
Next Tuesday. Why what?
Why don't I want to miss it? Play with me, Jewel.
it's going to change your business. It's going to,
There's nothing wrong with my business. I'm doing great.
Are we role playing right now?
Absolutely, all the time. My wife can't stand living with me. Everything's up like.
No, I
Alright.
understand your business is good. You want to make your business amazing. And let me tell you, it's worth it just to get the energy from this guy that's going to be teaching this class. You
So then
just
let's
gotta be there.
rephrase that. Let's rephrase that. First of all, I don't understand. Never say you understand. That's one of the dirty words.
Did I
I
say that?
understand. How do you understand incompetence? How do you understand deficiency? I don't understand. How much business are you closing from a divorce attorney in these times? None? The dude I sat with last week blew it out of the water and showed me 5 divorces he's working on this month. The divorce rate's through the roof. Aren't you seeing that? This is what I learned on that call. Never understand because you validate what they just said.
Did I say that?
You did. Watch the tape, Lee. Bring it back.
You don't
This
have
one,
to.
yeah.
I'll watch it
I'll
later.
watch it later.
Good
Hey,
grief. Now I'm
Susan-
afraid
Yeah, just
to
think
speak.
about that, right?
Now I'm
So
afraid
eventually,
to say anything
what we
because all my words are dirty.
dirty words.
All right, I'm gonna silence you, Paul, for a few minutes. Susan needs
Okay.
to hop off in a couple minutes. So is there any I'm gonna run through how to get to 2,000 a month, but I'm gonna wait till after Susan gets off because I know you need to leave in a couple minutes. And do you have any thoughts on today's? I mean, this is our first of many Thursdays. You know, Isaiah, unfortunately, he's in Idaho, like accepting some ClickFunnels award. So he could not be on. He messaged me. So any final thoughts for today's call in your opinion? Like,
No, I think the main thing I would say is number one, I love Paul's energy and it doesn't matter as much. And I don't take this the wrong way, Paul. It doesn't matter as much what you say. And I love, like, yes, there are dirty words. I completely agree with that, but don't get too caught up in that. It's more about, actually number one is just doing the activity. It's learning from everything that you're saying and doing. It's not being afraid to make a mistake or say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing, because everything that you're doing, it doesn't matter if it's a giant leap or a baby step. If you're moving forward every day, that's the most important thing. And I think
Magnificent, Susan. Let me share this with you. Enthusiasm trumps knowledge 7 days a week.
exactly. And
So
that,
what you
yeah,
just said is absolutely beautiful.
And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person.
yeah,
If they're the right person, it doesn't matter what you say. You have your energy and you can't go wrong. You can't say the right thing to the wrong person either. So you just have to rule them out. If they have bad energy and they're not picking up what you're throwing down,
don't
just
want 'em.
like release it and move on. It's the
Yeah.
best thing you can do. We're not pulling people. We're looking for people that are looking for us and our group and what
Exactly.
we have to offer. That's it. So
Yes.
easy, and get the
100%.
recruiting out of your brain. And I guess we're not attracting either. So We're just inviting. Is that a dirty word?
It-
Can we invite people? Paul?
Inviting is great. Who am I? And
Gosh.
there was, again, on that call I just jumped off right before that, there was, I can't remember who it was, but one of them said, on my whiteboard every day, it's who am I inviting to what today, so it's just an invitation. It's a relationship business, just like selling real estate. It's literally the exact same business, whether you're selling real estate or you're attracting to EXP. It's all about relationships and having those conversations and helping people and serving people. So my motto every day is, how can I serve today? And so whatever that motto is, it's just showing up and serving. So awesome. Love it. Paul, love your energy. I've got to jump off, but this was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hi, Susan.
Thanks, Susan. Appreciate you.
Okay.
So I want to finish off by going over how do you get to 2,000 a month? And now by adding Paul to the mix, I think that's going to help because he's going to help our agents to build their board of directors. But it's really simple math and it's not that difficult. So if you're able to sponsor 5 capping agents, that's $14,000. That's 2,800 times 5 is $14,000 a year. And if you can help each one of those 5 bring in 1 capping agent, so that's a total of 10 agents. So you can literally hit $30,000 a year or $2,500 a month with 10 capping agents. Now, the first thing everyone's going to say is, well, it's hard to find 10 capping agents, especially in a down, economy. But here's how we're going to do it is with Isaiah Colton's coaching and lead generation, with Paul Conti's Build Your Referral Partners, by getting everyone on our daily accountability calls, and then getting people in our Modern Agent Blueprint Masterminds, where we always have top ideas and things to help people build their business. I mean, so that's how we're going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Paul's analogy. Let's just take it back to dating. Like you're not expecting someone to marry you the first day you meet them, right? Or that's not the first question out of your mouth. It's all a nurture. It's all going to take time. But how many people can you invite? How many people can you invite? And then they're in the nurture phase. And some never will come. Some will never do it, but it's all planting seeds. So take that pressure off yourself that we're just trying to bring someone in today. We're going to talk to them today and they're going to join, because they're not. I mean, rarely will that happen, but these are all ways to nurture and continue conversations.
And then one big point is that you can't just have 5 people you need to talk to 20 people. You need to talk to 50 people, because if a lot of times what happens is you have one person that you're working on and that's it. And then they say no, and they're not ready or whatever. And then you feel defeated. It's all a numbers game. It's no different than getting a listing or anything else. You need to have 15, 20 people, 50 people in the hopper to get,
Yeah, I mean, you need a list. Like we keep saying, build your list, write your list. We want to see your list, because if your list is only 10, it's not big enough. Because if you start reaching out and 5 say no, now you feel like this isn't working, and it's just not enough. It's just like real estate. You have to have a big pipeline and you have to have the ability to nurture. And I don't know if we'll get into that today, but we've built a nurture campaign. So I've got somebody, who I talk to, and what's the next step? Well, I'm going to send them a video, right? And then a couple days later, they're going to get another email from me, and then another email from me, because it's just like not having a database for your agent attraction purposes. If you didn't have one for real estate, that would not be a good idea, right? How are you going to keep in touch with sellers who want to sell? They don't want to sell right now. They want to sell in 6 to 9 months. You have an agent that doesn't want to come right now. They just don't know that they're coming in 6 to 9 months, but you got to keep dripping on them and inviting them and sending them the things that our team is doing. And we can get into that next week, I think, Lee, because we're already headed to 1 o'clock. But there is a way to build this in KV Core. And you have our office with the little studio where you can film your videos. And we can show you what we've done and what we're doing.
Yeah, let me show one quick video of what we did real quick, and then we'll wrap it up for today.
Unless you guys, I'd like to hear from people and what questions they have. I mean, I don't want to just talk.
No,
let's
I
just
like
put-
that, Julie. I would love to see the video. I love everything Paul had to say today. I love everything you guys are doing. Just yeah, keep spreading it on us, I guess. Yeah.
It's a lot. It's like 50% real estate, 50% this is what kind of we're doing.
Whoop. So yeah, so let me play this real quick.
It's Julian Lee Moratis here with the Lux Group at eXp Realty, and we have a question for you. When is the last time you've been to a realtor's retirement party?
I don't think I've ever been to a real estate agent.
I have. Why is that? Well, maybe because they never retire. So think about it. You are a real estate agent earning commission. We do deals over and over and over. And realtors aren't very good at saving their money, much less putting it in an IRA or something. So a lot of times realtors have to work till very late in their life. Who wants that? Not me. So we're at a brokerage, eXp Realty, that offers multiple streams of income as well as stock in the company to protect your future.
Yeah, they always say you need multiple streams of income to be successful. And I see agents at other brokerages, because it is slowing down out there because of this tight inventory and high interest rate environment, that they're getting part-time jobs somewhere else. And that's kind of silly, because with what we offer, you know, with each one of your closings, you can buy stock at a 5% discount, but there's also by sharing eXp with others and bringing others in. When they close a transaction, instead of that piece going to the brick and mortar brokerage, we get a little piece of that ourselves, and then it adds up as you add more people, and it's really a godsend. It's been
life-changing for us. We'd love to talk to you, and we're not going to share all the numbers here, but it's been very impactful for our lives. And this revenue is willable, which was like mind-blowing to me, that we can leave this legacy for our kids long after we are gone as well. And so to Lee's point, yeah, there, you can get stock for bringing other agents aboard. You get stock for capping. For what we're already doing, they're giving you stock.
I think that we brought one agent in a couple years ago who now has like 15 or 20 agents of her own, and she's generating an additional $3,000 to $4,000 a month in passive income. And before she joined us, where she was at, she referred someone to the company, and they gave her a $25 Starbucks gift card, and that was it.
Right. Grow your own future, guys. Grow your own future rather than somebody else's. And we love to share what's happened for us in the almost 5 years that we've been with eXp. So we'd love to just have a conversation with you. And you know what? Maybe it's not a fit for you, but at least, check it out, because we feel like this is a gift and we have to share it.
It's a gift that we have to share.
Maybe you don't understand it right away. Maybe it's not a fit for you, but we want to tell you about it. And if it's just like you're happy where you are, let it be a backup offer on your desk. We just want to talk to you.
And the other brokers are so nervous about our model, because it's collaboration over competition, that they're trying to muck everything up and say, that they're trying to really turn us into who we are. It's just too good,
you guys. It's just too good.
They just can't compete with what we have to offer.
But anyway, we could go on forever. But just book a call with us.
You click on the link and book a call with us. We would love to kind of do an analysis for you with both stock and revenue share, just to kind of see where you can be, 6, 12, 18 months from now.
Okay, we hope to talk to you soon.
That video is a little too long.
No, it's so good.
So
It was great.
we did like 15 of those, and then so instead of sending a standard drip campaign of just emails, when we talk to somebody now, we immediately start this campaign, and it'll send one video, then the next video. Then one we did was funny. It was, I'm sitting next to an icon, and I point to Julie because she's an icon agent, and then she kind of explained what an icon agent was. And then we talked about, when we did one, Paul, we stole your thunder. We talked about how to build your board of directors. We talked about, like all these different topics that weren't really, that was probably one of the more recruitish ones than other ones, but we always just go back to, and then I'll put the links to all these videos. You guys can we want you guys to take what we've done and recreate them for yourselves. I mean, 100%, we want you all to do that. So, but I think it's just a different approach, because out of sight, out of mind. I mean, if people, you can talk, have a good conversation with somebody, then life gets in the way, and then 2-3 weeks pass, and then they're like, oh, I'm fine where I'm at. What's important is to just keep dripping on them again and again and again. And so what we'll do is, whoever's willing to do their videos, I mean, you could use our videos. You can say, this is Lee and Julie of our group. You know, I'm fine with you using ours, but if you want to do your own, we will help you build your campaign in KV Core and set it on autopilot.
Yeah, and it's kind of mixed up with informational videos or informational emails without videos. We also included, didn't we, a couple of EXP specific? Yeah, we did. The napkin presentation one, we
Yep.
put that in there. So it's just interspersed in there, but we just go to the office and just free form. Like, we don't even have scripts. Maybe we should have scripts. I don't know.
I
But
think it's better not to have a script, because, you know,
yeah, if you guys have any good ideas too that we haven't thought of too, you know, and I don't know how far built out we are. How many do you have so far?
we have, I think we have like, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We have probably like 14 videos that we've done.
Okay, but that's all mixed in with other things, so we're probably
Correct.
20, 25 emails out at this point.
But I just posted another one if you guys want to watch it on your own. Yeah, it is important to flow naturally, Liza, because sometimes if you're too scripted, I mean, I think before we did each video, we had in our heads, we just talked about like 2 or 3 bullet points that we wanted to touch on.
Mhm.
And it comes across as being from the heart, you know?
Yeah, Lee, bring the PDF up one more time, although Paul might just jump down my throat for stuff I say.
Hey, Julie,
Can
Can you guys share a copy of that PDF too?
Yeah, so these are
Absolutely.
just some things that I've been doing and things that I've been, you know, I think, you know, it goes back to just tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself, right? I just ask questions. You know, the person who does them, you know, you don't want to be doing all the talking on these calls. So I've been calling agents. If they don't answer, I even send them texts. And I'll say, you know, hey, so-and-so, you popped into my head today. Yesterday, 2 days ago, I thought of an agent and I did Bold with her. Did anyone ever do Bold at Keller Williams? Awful. Bold. Oh my gosh. She was part of my group, right? She was like the leader and I love her. So I sent her a text and said, hey, I was driving by the Finish Center yesterday and you popped into my head. And how's business? And we started a conversation. So that's all I did. And, you know, if you're feeling like sending a text, send a text. It's better than doing nothing. If you don't feel like picking up the phone and calling, I mean, there's so many agents that unfortunately don't pick up their phone. So I've got a lot of voicemails out there too. So I'll do both and see what they respond to, just like kind of we do in real estate, don't we? When agents don't pick up their phone, we send them a text and they respond right away. So, you know, if that works, but your ultimate goal obviously is to get them on the phone. So this girl, she's with a small independent brokerage up in, gosh, where is she? Like mid-Michigan. Linden-ish, so kind of up towards mid-Michigan. I'm like, God, we need some agents up there, right? Because that's getting up there to, you know, the middle of the state. So, you know, I thought, man, she'd be a great fit. And I love her energy. You know, she's at just a tiny little brokerage. In fact, I looked her up and I think she's like the only agent. She thinks she's not, but she's the only agent. It's like a brokerage of one. So in her broker, who isn't even, I don't even see her license on the MLS, is feeding her leads. So we'll see where it goes. But, you know, she's almost a capper. Man, I could get her up to 10 million a year, you know, so we'll see where it goes. But that's a great convo starter. So, so where is it on here, Lee? I've got some scripts. Let's just start at the top. Okay, so social media, we talked about that. Modern Agent Blueprint, I'm telling you, that's probably the best thing you can do right now, is get them on Tuesday's call.
Well, and then you have a reason to call them after or text them. You can say, oh my gosh.
What'd you think? Did he blow your mind or what? You know?
Exactly.
There's your follow-up. And then it starts from there. Accountability calls. You can invite anybody. 8:45 every morning, we're doing them. So say, you know what, you reach out to them. How's your business? Hey, how are you staying motivated in this market? You know, you should join us on the accountability call. So inviting, that's easy, right? Open houses. Go visit 5 open houses this weekend and meet a few agents. They're probably just kind of sitting around. Meet some new people. So look, just do an open house search on the MLS and see what's nearby. Great way to meet new agents. Reach out to the ones you co-brokered with since the beginning of time. I have a lot of them too. And it's always, don't wait till the end of the transaction, right? Like Paul said, do it when, just like you should be asking your clients for referrals and testimonials at the good points before anything goes south, not saying it will, but right when that offer gets accepted or right when their house goes under contract, that's when you should be talking to your buyers and sellers, because that's when everything's exciting. Same with the agent you're co-brokering with. Don't wait till the end of the transaction. And typically we don't meet them anymore till the closing table. And then does that get awkward? Like, hey, let's meet for coffee. It's like, if you can get that appointment set up and meet them in the middle of the thing, meet them. Hey, gosh, we're probably never going to meet each other till the end of this thing. Let's get together, do it then. And then lastly, there's that text I just was talking about. Hey, you popped into my head today. How's business? Or are you feeling a shift in the market? How's the market for you? Just a question. It's just figuring out how we can help each other. So, those are all great ideas, I think. And here's some scripts. So the same, you guys have all heard of FORD, right? Family, occupation, recreation, and dreams, kind of the script to follow. It's just finding out how people are doing, what's going on. And kind of in the middle, obviously, once you get to occupation, which we know is real estate, you're going to be talking about how their businesses, they're going to want to know how yours is. And this is where that talk can come in. And then you can continue with, what's life like? Hey, you got any trips planned? And then get into that real dreaming at the end, like, what their goals are. Like, are they reaching their goals? What are their goals for the next 5 years? And then here's Jean Fredericks, Team A. Tell me about yourself. This is more for agents you don't know that well. If you're sitting down with someone, let's just chat. Tell me about yourself. And that's all you need to do, really. And don't have the agenda in the back of your head that you're trying to recruit them, because they're not going to come over right now. They're going to come over when you shared enough value to show them that they really should. So.
And
yeah,
the lowest hanging fruit to do that is the, modern agent blueprint, the accountability calls, all those things to show value. We spent a lot of time and effort building all these tools, and we didn't just build it for Julie and I, we built it for everyone. And I think that everyone needs to take advantage of it.
And you never know when someone's going to be ready. I just brought over Whitney. I talked to her for over a year, but while I was in Vegas at the event, something snapped and she was ready. I was like, now you're going to call me now? Now we're going to onboard? But that's what happened. So I just kept in touch with her. We ended up doing a couple deals together, closer. And then something pissed her off and she was ready to join. So you just never know when someone's going to be ready. Questions, thoughts, ideas? Love to hear from you guys.
Everyone's allowed to talk except Paul.
I have an answer to your when we get invited to their retirement party. On our MLS, they're always announcing the agents that just passed away and they're having a service. That's the only thing I get invited to. That's the retirement party.
Oh my
So
God.
true.
That's so sad.
It really is. That's all you're going to be remembered by is just a little MLS notice.
That's true. That is true. And it always makes me sad because at the time of their death, they're obviously still working, right? They're still an agent, I know. Paul or Scott, you said participate with. What is that verbiage to replace?
I think it was when he was talking about invite, the word invite.
Okay.
So I want to participate with you.
I like that. That's not a dirty word, is it? Participate with?
You can talk, Paul.
I need a list of all the dirty words that I can't say.
Now we're all going to be afraid to talk.
I don't understand why he said you can't say I understand.
Paul?
Here he comes off mute.
Oh, sorry, Paul. I started something.
So when you say I understand, You validate what they just said.
Aren't you trying to validate what they just said?
Nope,
Okay.
because that's what everybody else is trying to do. So I'm doing okay. I don't need any more of this or any more. I understand. How could you understand not making 7 figures? How you can't validate incompetence. You can't validate a poor decision. So as soon as you do something nobody else does and you disagree, you've got their attention. But if you agree, you validate it. You just push them farther away from you.
Okay.
Can you
Does that
use
make
like feel,
sense?
felt, found? Like I know how you feel. I understand. No, like, oh, I'm
I
sorry.
empathize.
You just said, I hear what you
empathize.
said. What is that, Paul? What if you said, I hear what you're saying?
Yeah, I
I
felt
hear
the same way. I hear what you're saying. Is that the same?
So for me, when they say something like that, I immediately say, I don't understand. I don't, you're compelled to say, I understand. I don't understand. How much business are you, and we'll teach you all this stuff
That's
when
like,
we go over
tell
the
me
board.
more. Yeah.
Right. I don't understand how you can be satisfied with, I don't understand that. We'll get to this. Lee,
Hey,
I'm not
Paul,
allowed
I
to-
have a question. I have a question for you. So I was nurturing an agent and talking with him quite a few times the last couple of weeks. And then he messaged me when Julie and I went to dinner last night, and he messaged me and said, you know, thanks so much for everything, but I decided to go to XYZ brokerage. What should I have responded? I think you're making a mistake.
So
Or how would I respond?
again, it's
to that?
difficult at this point because we're 3/4 of the way down and you're saying, help me fix what I should have fixed in the wording or how the communication. Doesn't mean we're going to get 100% of the people to join us. I'm just saying, I want to increase the statistical odds of that happening by using the right communication. And that would have happened way early on. So what he said to you, I believe, is that that other person made him feel differently than you did. That's what I heard. I didn't hear I picked another broker. That other person made me feel differently than
He
you
was a
did.
discount broker though, and I know that he was financially tight. So
And again, the example, if we go back to this, what's your, anybody on the call wants to answer, like, what's your average sale price? Is 300,000 an average number for you guys?
yeah, that's close.
Okay, so 300,000. And I said I have 5 divorces that were highlighted in yellow and 2 are selling. So if those 2 sold with you and your average sale price is 300,000, so that's 600,000, your commission is what? 600, it's 18,000, 80%, 18 is what, 14 grand? So in other words, if I don't meet him where his particular area of feeling is driving him, and we can't go analytical. I don't go analytics. I don't go data for data because that's the tug of war. So I do my best to get into a place of helping him understand that even if he chooses the discount broker, he makes more money on the one deal he's closing a month or the one deal he's closing every 3 months, as opposed to creating a corporation or a business. The reason you're looking in a down market, which is not a down market, this is an opportunistic market. This is a glorious market, right? The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why? Because the rich capitalize and the poor criticize. Think about that. If you're complaining, you're criticizing, your mind's in the wrong place. If you're looking to capitalize, your mind's in an abundant place.
Yep.
So those two things separate that early on. These are the things that we drop all the time during the calls and during the Zoom calls. I'm watching how they communicate. I'm looking at their posture. I'm looking at their eyes. I'm watching how they react to what I just said. And if I see what I need to see, I go further there. If I didn't get what I'm looking for, I pull back, I find another one. So I'm going to dig until I hit oil, and then we're going to make that thing explode.
So would you recommend if I'm talking with somebody to get on a Zoom call with them? If I can't meet them in person, to get on a Zoom call?
Always
versus just
Zoom
being
call.
on-
Always.
versus just
Everything
being
I
on
do
the
for
phone?
all of you guys and your agents, and we do those intimate calls, and I'll show all this stuff to you. This is an example, just a tickler. I'm not going too far, Lee, I promise. But so this is an insurance agent who got me on a Zoom call with a divorce attorney. You want to talk about your life being altered? These calls are going to blow your mind. This divorce attorney has 40 a year, already closed 7, is closing 3 more. And she now knows she needs all of these people in her life to send her buyers and sellers to. 45 days after I met this divorce attorney, she started coming to my call. We got our first refi, cash out refi, and the first seller who's getting qualified to be a buyer in less than 45 days. This is
I
the
love it.
kind of stuff that will move people because again, I have to divorce you, not from only your current broker. I've got to divorce you from anybody knocking on your door. That's why I don't worry about other loan officers, because there's no loan officer that's going to teach you what I'm teaching you. You got loan officers knocking on your door trying to give you money, food, tickets, gifts, hugs, dates. I won't do any of that. I'm going to build your business and make you money so you can afford that on your own. So there's the difference. So I'm not worried that loan officers are knocking on your door, just like I'm not worried that other brokers are trying to go after that realtor, because I'm going to bring something you've never heard before, and I'm going to connect with you in a way nobody else is connecting with you, because they're trying to make it about money. In this time, you've got to do the exact opposite, because everybody's trying to make it about money. At the end of the day, when you do the math, it'll be about money, but I get to the money through your brain, not your wallet. I got to work up here. And this will then rationalize and make that decision. So it's difficult to pick up the pieces at the end. We want to start in the beginning. So it's a nurturing process all the way through. Love the word. It's the right word. I love that. But how are you nurturing? Are we nurturing based on what you think or what they need to feel? So one of the other things I would say, I heard it before in this call, I believe I did, where somebody talked about, like, hey, tell me your pain points. Think about this. Julie, just out of curiosity, if I asked you, and everybody pay attention to this, please, Julie, I want you to tell me 3 things you don't like about Lee. 3 things he does that aggravate you. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. I'm giving you an example.
Number one.
Oh, you only want 3, Paul?
How much time do we have?
The reason
We're
I'm
out of
saying
time.
it, I want you to think about what's happening here. As soon as you say, what's your pain point? Where does their mind go? Problems. Problems. And you think you're going to relieve them of the problem. You put them in a frame of distress, aggravation. It doesn't mean you can't be the solution, but you don't approach it through a pain point. So one of the questions, and we don't ask, how can I help you? What can I help you with? You're trying to ask someone who's struggling, tell me how I can help. If they knew that, they wouldn't need you. They don't know how to make a good decision, either now because of the economy or generally speaking. And you're asking them to tell me what I can help you with. Never. You direct how you're going to help them based on how they responded to what you said. Does that make sense, gang? So I did that jokingly. Tell me the 3 things you don't like about Lee. Now we're having fun with it, but think about, you're going to go negative. He chews loud. He leaves the toilet seat up. These are things that aggravate you. Jokingly, fun, whatever. Listen, my wife does like 3% of things wrong. 97% are fantastic. Do I focus on the 3 or the 97? So why are you asking about the 3%? You put your mind in a negative space. So now they frame this conversation with the things that give them angst and anxiety. And you think, I'm going to be your help. It's like you're tugging on rope. You're trying to pull them out of quicksand that you put them in. Recruiting is an art form, folks. That's why it's what is it, like 90+% of agents don't make any money from recruiting? They're great agents. They're not great recruiters. They're different roles. A fish doesn't know how to be a runner, but he's a great fish. Put him in the right place. So what you do is you say, you know what? I'm going to bring you to the front door and I'm going to let Paul and Lee and Julie answer the door. That's the team participation thing. And selfishly, I got to plug this. I do mortgages. That's how I feed my family. Please. So that's my thought in response to that. So be careful that the pain point thing is one of those dirty words. And eventually we'll have this whole list and we role play and practice. And so I would say, okay, Nicole, recruit me. Nicole, I'm a listing agent. Nicole, I'm the buyer's agent. Go, baby. And we'll get this down. It'll be so smooth. You'll be dangerous, right? You'll be dangerous. It takes practice. There's no professional athlete that got to the Super Bowl that didn't practice for 10 hours a day. We love to hear the glory. We don't want to pay attention to the story. How did you get there, right? You need the right coaches. You need the right team. You need the right help. By the grace of God, that's why I'm here. I believe we found it together in our team, in our partnership.
I love it.
Thank you for affording me this time. You got to be careful when you ask me a question. I don't know how to shut up.
It's too bad I don't have that Zoom account with that turns off after 45 minutes, the free account. All right, everybody. I think we got a lot of good nuggets for today. I'm going to repost the video. Obviously, we're recording it, so I'm going to post it in our group. And
share the PDF too.
I'm going to share the PDF as well. Anyone have any last questions for today?
Yeah,
Oh,
and reach out
Stephanie.
as far as next week too. If you guys have anything you want to cover next week, let us know for
So
next Thursday.
Modern Agent Blueprints at 11 next week. Is it always going to be at 11 or just next week?
I'm gonna try to make it earlier because it conflicts with Isaiah's growth CEO coaching. He's got something at noon every Thursday, and he's trying to get all of his agents to the call as well. So,
Okay.
so we're gonna try 11 o'clock for the next few weeks and see how the turnout is.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, everybody, you guys are awesome. Thank you. We will see you Tuesday at Paul. Are you going to steal the show on Tuesday? Is an hour enough? Should I make it 2 hours? I love it how his microphone's off now. All right. Well, I'm going to put a little note in there, say it may last longer than 1 hour.
I personally like when things get derailed and that they go later, because that means that we're not just listening, we're engaging.
Yep. That's a good point.
You're damn right. Oh, look at that. I swore.
There she
Look,
is.
Paul, you're blushing.
Renegades.
That's, Paul is a renegade. I love it. All right, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Yes, I want branded
Seize the rest
material.
of your
This is
day.
Renegades now. And Lux Group.
Bye.
Bye.